Okay, good evening, everyone. We're here for the Village of Fairmont Architectural Review Committee meeting, Tuesday, September 17th at 7 p.m. We have an revised agenda, and our first application is for Brookside Storage, 166 through 184 Route 59. It's for the proposed cold storage warehouse and special permit and a subdivision. They submitted their application, ARC checklist, narrative, proposed site plan, floor plans, and renderings. And I believe we have the engineer, Dave Ziegler, and the architect, John Sirocco, on for the applicant. So whoever wants to start, and I'll share the screen for if anything you may want to show.
Right.
Okay.
I think Dave is going to start. I think you're on mute, Dave.
Yeah, Dave, you are on mute.
Well, that's a good way to talk. In front of you is our site plan for Brookside Storage. It's on the north side of 59, opposite Brookside. Also opposite the funeral home on 59. And to the left is Suffern, and to the right is Ramapo. Town Hall, north is up, and the bottom, along the bottom of the plot plan is Route 59. So the property lies between that old gas station and those office condos that are kind of on the hill. And this property is on the slope. If you could go to the site plan, John, right there. And from our entrance, which is on the east side, to the west side, which is our exit, there's a 20-foot grade difference in elevation. You're going up the hill there. As you come past the old shopping center, you have the Provident Bank on your right. If you're going towards Suffern, you have the old gas station, and then this site. And this site has currently two houses. One was an apartment and an office, and the other one is a house with an apartment. And it was the entire site was used by an excavator, landscaper who had his work equipment and garage in the back. So all that would be removed, and this building, which is going to be a warehouse, was proposed for the site. To get access around the building, we kind of had to make the building midpoint elevation. So it's on the east side, which is the entrance side. It's equal, I'll say, with the ground elevation. And then on the high side, where the exit is, the whole foundation is buried. And that is why John's going to speak on the building, because there was a lot of work involved trying to make it look good. And I'll give it to John now.
Sure. Is there anything we want to see here? Now, this is just well, I think what's important here is just to understand the grading. Not only does Route 59 pitch down 20 feet as you go east, but it also pitches down towards the back of the property. So, and all this is all wetlands here. And then there's a easement going through, a sewer easement. So there's a lot of constraints on the property, but the most stringent constraints are the contours, this pitching down this way, and then of course pitching down to the back. So the building, so what we're looking at here is standing on Route 50. So this, well, let me look at, this is the overview. So Route 59, you can see it, it's pitching down over here. And then, and this is all the wetlands, part of the property. And then this is our drive around for the trucks. So the building really, the quote, fundamental part of the warehouse is actually in the back of the building. This is rotated. So Route 59 is over here. The entrance, the drive-in entrance is over here. The trucks come around and then they drive back up the hill to the high point of the site over here, back on a little further west on Route 59. But all the activity is in the back of the building, meaning all the tractor trailers. These are all the loading docks. it's diagonal parking for the loading dock.
Actually, it's the opposite, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like because the loading docks are facing the opposite direction, so I think the entrance is the opposite direction. The entrance would not, if I'm not mistaken, would be on the other side, not where your mouse was.
So this is the entrance at the eastern side of the site. Then the trucks come around, and then they're going to back up. Meaning the cab of the truck pulls in,
Right.
it backs in, and
Okay.
then trucks just pull out. Right? Yeah, it's a little crazy. And then they pull out up, and then they come up the hill and they pull out at the high side of Route 59. So all the heavy stuff's in the back, the big loading docks and everything. And then as you come up the hill, as the grade rises, we have this little second floor this warehouse is a 40-foot high ceiling. It's a typical new standards warehouse. And then kind of halfway up that 40 feet, we have our pedestrian entrance, and we have an office, and we have receiving for smaller box trucks. So when we go back to the civil plan, all the car parking, all the employee parking is in the front, which is a pretty harmless front activity. Trucks are in the back, and then we have 4 spots for box trucks.
Where's the truck check-in? Where's the check-in for the trucks?
Where's the what?
The check-in for the truck. The truckers are check-in. They don't go to the front. They go to the back. No.
Well, so that's another thing with the program, and I don't mean to put your so this first floor tenant, which is really like the lower floor that's open to the back, we see this as a single large tenant. It's about 82,000 square foot. This would be a large tenant. When we go up,
Storage. It's not a public cold storage.
well, on the ground floor, we're anticipating a single tenant will take it. When we go to the upper floor, where we only have a 14-foot high ceiling that's served by those box trucks coming coming up the elevators, this would be subdivided into 3,000, 5,000 square foot cold storage mini warehouses. We didn't subdivide it yet, but so it's 2 different clienteles. The large clientele accessing the back of the site with the 40-foot high ceiling, and then the smaller clientele accessing the upper floor with only a 14-foot high ceiling. So that's what these box trucks are. That's what these box trucks are really serving is the upper floor mini warehouses with the 2 elevators going upstairs. So when we look at the rendering, so this is Route 59 pitching down. This is the office space here, and the pedestrian entrance to the office. And then these are the each one of these overhead doors can handle 2 box trucks. And then this is just a tractor trailer pulling out from the back, and you can see this grade drops off here. Then we also step the building down as Route 59 steps down. We also so that mini warehouse, the mini warehouse is only this portion. This is just the little office space, and then the majority of the 40-foot high warehouse space is buried below grade and popping up a little bit over here. So it's a little complex, but I think the important thing here is that we gave the building a very nice front. We threw the tractor trailers in the back. We stepped the facade down as Route 59 pitches down, and we looked at the materials very carefully and geometries of the facade, so that we have a combination of metal panel, and I'll show you some samples that if you want, metal panel, stamped stucco with a brick with a brick, a Roman, it's called a Roman brick. It's a modern looking brick. With some ephes infill or aluminum storefront, and then, at the bottom, and then we throw in some stone. So we're giving it a very non-warehouse type of look in the front. When I go through so this is the Route 59 elevation that I just walked you through. You could see Route 59 stepping down. And then this is the east elevation. So this is the low part of Route 59. You drive down around to the back. This is the back elevation, and you can see all the loading docks. And this is the ramp back up to get you out to Route 59. So all of this is going to be metal panel, insulated.
HVAC. See, I see the HVAC on the roof. Is it going to be visible through Route 59?
No, we're going to set it back. So when we look at the HVACs are on this lower roof, but we're going to set it all back. So you'd really kind of have to go out of your way to see it. So this is the third floor of the mini storage, and this is the roof of the lower warehouse, and we'll locate all the HVAC equipment back here.
The cold storage is going to need a substantial amount of HVAC system. That's
Absolutely, no doubt about it. But this is about, this is like 55 feet, this width, and then these bays are about 40, 45 feet. So we're talking about quite a bit of real estate over here to get all that equipment in
Just
there.
don't want anything visible to Route 59.
I think you're gonna have to be, this is set way back. Let me go to this. Let me see if they go to the site plan. So the equipment's really going to be set back here in this way in the back here. I think people are going to, and then as they drive over here, the view angle, because this roof is pretty high here, they're not going to have the view angle to see it. And the further you go down Route 59, the more Route 59 drops down to Airmont Road. So I think you're going to have to really twist and turn. You're going to have to really go out of your way to look for those HVAC units. And then, as I was saying, we have some nice horizontal trim lines wrapping around the building a little bit. But once we get away from the front facade, then we're going through strictly metal panel, just a flush metal panel siding. And then these are our roof drains coming down along the perimeter. Really, we put all the emphasis on the most visible part, obviously, which is the Route 59 facade. So now that it seems like we're getting through the zoning board and the planning board. Once we start getting into construction drawings and we select manufacturers for the panels and the ephes and all the different materials here, we'll be more than happy to submit physical sample boards. We would want it ourselves. I mean, for a project like this, we would require from the contractor a mock-up of all these materials. So, at this point now, I can say, well, manufacturer X with this color, but when we go through the bidding process and the selection of a GC and the subs, we might end up with a different manufacturer than something I might tell you now. So I would like to defer physical boards until a little bit down the road, if that's possible. But we don't hear you. I'm sorry. No, I think you muted.
And the lighting as well, the lighting.
So the lighting, we don't really see, I mean, yeah, we didn't show that, that's
we have lighting. Well, excuse me, John. We do have lighting, but it's on the building because it's really the loop around the building. So we have lights on the building that shine down. And then in the front, we have two lights, I think, in the front that shine towards the building. And then in the back, we have down lighting also. We don't need much lighting around it because everything is very close to the building. So a down light will cover out 40, 50 foot, which does our side driveways. And then in the front, we have regular pole lights, toothbrush, very narrow lights. You can barely see them. That's what we proposed in the front and in the back. And nobody sees the back, but you
Right.
would see them in the front.
Is there any signage you will be proposing?
We have a sign on the front corner, directory sign, but we don't have that yet. We would have to come back after that's designed.
Right.
There'll only be one sign, an address, because there's not going to be people looking for this. It's going to be more of a business person. So there'll be an address sign and a directory, but that'll be all located at the entrance. And as I said, that wouldn't be designed yet, but it'll definitely show the facets of this building facade.
Right.
You only need to go back to planning board for a sign plan if you're if you're outside the code measurements. If you're within it, then you just do it as a building permit.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions, Simon, or
No.
no? Comment?
What about the landscaping, for privacy for the adjacent property?
Landscaping in the front is very limited because we have such a sight distance, when you pull out there and you're trying to look down 59. So we don't have anything high in the front, and along both sides we have trees. But on the right side we have 20 acres of trees. So we are
Yeah.
not planning too much over there. On the left side, which is the high side, the west side, we're planting shrubs along that property line, matching our neighbors. So we'll have a double row of shrubs there, theirs and ours, which will
Okay.
separate. That's a business over there. So I know it looks like condos or something, but it's a professional office condos. And in
I'll put a little up the landscape in the front, so it looks a little more presentable from the road than just a commercial warehouse.
It's kind of hard because of the sight lines. I mean, we're getting very close to the right of way with our trees.
So make the parking a little smaller.
Can't make the parking smaller. It won't meet code. What's
Okay.
happened is when we started this project, this applicant's going to bear the
Maybe, yeah.
burden of 8 foot of additional pavement
Right. I'm sorry,
along
yeah.
our side. And then they want a sidewalk from one end to the other. So that's another 7 foot, because it has to be at least 2 foot off the curb. So we're really narrowed down to one strip of planting there. We can we'll try to find some trees that would grow up higher than your sight lines of 4 foot and add that to the landscaping in the front. We will do that.
And it should be pointed out that the building is about 80, 85 feet or so from the curb line. So it is a significant setback. I mean, when you look at this building here, so it's a little closer to the street than this. So when you look at the setback you have here, we're a little bit closer than that one, but it's a significant setback.
We have a landscaper that did this. We'll ask her to put some trees in the front that wouldn't bother the sight lines and forward that to you. As a subject too, hopefully.
Okay.
Shimon and, and Israel, anything else? What are
No.
your final comments?
I have no comments.
Okay, so it's good to go for the planning board? As long as they
Yes.
just add some more trees in the front, that won't bother the site
Correct.
line. Okay. So you both approve it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Dave and John, I'll just do a memo and send it to you and Paul before the meeting, so you have it on record for the planning board.
And we'll forward this plan to the landscaper for some trees, and then I'll send, as soon as that's done, which would probably be the end of this week, beginning of next week, to you for your files.
Okay, and I'll send it to
Perfect.
the ARC so they can see it anyway.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Okay, have a good evening.
Thank
Bye.
you very much. Thank
Okay, our next application is Route 59 Office LLC, 365 Route 59, for the proposed addition of 26,428 square foot of office space. We have the application, the ARC checklist, the narrative, the proposed revised amended site plan, architecturals and renderings, and we have several people on for the applicant. I don't know who's going to start.
All right, I'm gonna present. Shlomo here from Builder Architecture. So the project is a two-story building raised above parking. Materials will be used, as I'm sure you remember from the last time we were here, are some brick, red color to match to be complementary of the existing building on the site. Some dark and gray aluminum panels. All of such can be seen in the renderings. And since we've been here last, we've also added a landscape plan and updated our renderings to reflect some of those comments, including we've added a rear view render. So should I be sharing my screen, or would you?
You should. I just checked the permission there to share. If you could, that would be most helpful. Thank you.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, that's better.
All right, so attached, we've updated some of our renderings that we've had before, indicating some of the proposed trees that I'll pull up in the landscape plan in a moment. Here along along Route 59, there's some
much better than
5.
before. I can tell you for sure.
Okay, thank you. Well, so we've added along the back as well a screening with greenery to reduce light pollution. As well, there's an existing fence, some trees and greenery. Here's the back elevation. These are the louver panels with some greenery. Here you can see the landscape plan indicating 5 spruce trees. There's some existing trees here, and then a whole bunch of other Opeka trees all along the building. So to reduce any pollution from this beautiful building. All right.
Which is the front? That's the front.
So this is Route 59.
Right. Just want to confirm. Okay.
Yeah, we have the parking. So if I'm just gonna go back here to the rendering, so Route 59, the top left image. So you'll see that view from right there. And if I pull down, you can see all the proposed trees, existing trees, to incorporate some of the comments from last meeting.
And this time, I think the site plan has a sidewalk on it that wasn't on before, and some parking. But you
So I'll
don't,
pull it up.
yeah.
So here's the site plan, and on the
That's
site
the
plan we
elevator.
have
I was like wondering what that thing was in the front of the elevator shaft. Okay, I was like wondering what it looked like sticking out right in the front in the facing 59. Am I right? Am I correct? That black box on top of the front and on top, is that the elevator shaft? What is that?
Yes, that's a elevator bulkhead. We're gonna tint it dark so it doesn't just it kind of blends in from far away from perspective. It's going to be an aluminum panel, as we're going to continue up throughout the dark aluminum, the dark gray aluminum.
Mhm. And the entrance is gonna be through 365, or it's gonna be through this, you can have another separate entrance?
It's through three. It comes through the same entrance as the existing building. So if I take you back to the site plan,
You're not having a separate entrance,
so yeah, so it's the same entrance.
same entrance.
And as you pull in from here, there's gonna be parking. It's slightly lower down. The building is 8 feet shorter than the existing building, or lower down. I wouldn't say shorter. It's lower down.
But it's sticking out more forward towards the road instead.
Correct.
Mhm. Mhm.
Any questions?
Did you go back to the rendering again? I'm sorry. So. No, I saw before and just right, I had a question, I was just. Yeah. Right. I can get it in my head now, okay. So that's,
Right. Is there any update about the fence behind these bushes? I remember there was a discussion about it.
So the fence, whatever the fence is, we're gonna keep as is. So as you can see here in the rendering, there's the existing fence. That will remain the same. I believe this fence was for lighting from the parked cars. That will remain the same. As also shown in the landscape plan, there's going to be shrubs all around here for any cars parked here or from lighting coming from the parking garage below the building on the grade level. So that's all going to be protected with alpaca trees. And there's also that same fence continues all the way around in the back as well. I think the big comment from last time was the adding trees over here along Route 59 so that you wouldn't see the retaining wall, and I believe that's what the updated landscaping plan took care of.
Correct.
no, that was an improvement, right?
Yes. Do you gentlemen have any comments, ARC?
No, I think that's it.
Hey, Shimon, you're muted.
No, I'm satisfied at the moment.
Okay, so you're both satisfied with this, so I can write that up in the memo for the planning board?
Yes.
Okay, so you're fine
Yes.
with changes. Okay,
All right, thank you both. Thank you,
okay,
all
thank you,
three. Thank
everyone.
you, Suzanne.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Okay, happy evening. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye now.